Hi everyone, back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game this Sunday against Spurs at St James's Park. We've really enjoyed these fixtures over the last couple of seasons where we've smashed Spurs to pieces and really enjoyed it. But I'm not too sure that's going to be the case on this particular fixture, given everything that's gone on with the transfer window and everything else. But let's get stuck into this preview. So just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, smash subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. We're over 8,500 subs now, heading to 9. So smash that button, recommend it to family and friends. You won't regret it. It's all free and evermore. There's a membership option there. If you do fancy being a member, feel free. We'll get early access to previews like this and some goodies coming up the next few months because me and Mark are cooking it up in the lab for you, like Breaking Bad. I'll probably have to be Walter White because I've got less hair. But anyway, we'll get stuck into that. So we're going to look at the game now. So this is not going to be an easy fixture, as I say. Spurs are off the back of smashing Everton 4-0 in a really good performance as well. Yes, it was Everton, and Everton are a bit in free fall, really. But, you know, Spurs look like the Spurs that can really cause you some serious damage. We'll get into Spurs in a minute, but let's talk about Newcastle right now. So this is how I think we're going to line up. Now, it was a tricky one, this couple of calls I had to make, but we made them. So Nick Pope in goal is an easy one. He's our number one keeper. And he's the guy who's going to be playing in the sticks. Right back, I've gone for Kieran Trippier. I think we'll go for the experience on this one. Tino looked good when he come on against Forest. You know, attacked really well, linked up really well. But I think he'll stick with Trips on this one for his experience. Emil Kraft will continue at right centre-half because, you know, he's doing a good job in the absence of Fabian Shea. He was steady against Forest as well. Dan Burn alongside him, who's been really good at centre-half. He's a centre-half heavy. Don't put him back at left-back. He's very good at centre-half. Lewis Hall continued left-back. I thought he was brilliant again against Forest. He did really well going forward. Everyone keeps saying he loses the ball. He's an attacking fullback. He's going to lose the ball. He's only 19 years old. He's recovering well. He's getting better defensively. He's got a wand of a left peg on him. He's unlucky not to score in the cup game against Forest. Some beautiful passes breaking the lines as well. Lovely link-ups with him and Barnes and him and Gordon as well throughout that game. So I'm really excited about what Hall can do if he just keeps in the team consistently and gets games. And I think the more games he gets, the better he'll get. The midfield three, we finally got it. The midfield three, the power three, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, and the returning Sandro Tonali we've gone with in this game as well. Sandro was great in the Forest game, lasted an hour. Some real touches of class. You could just see the levels going up when he was on the ball. Strong first-time passes, saw the pass before accompanying the vision, the quality to pull it off. He was unlucky not to get a goal as well, played his part in the goal. So I think, yeah, he'll be relishing. This is a big Premier League fixture against one of the big six, if you want to call them that, in Spurs. And I think Sandro will be relishing this game. And hopefully we'll see another barnstorming performance. And if those three click, my word, they could be one of the best midfields in the Premier League. And up front, I've gone for the notorious BIG. And I really hope Eddie Howe does the same. So Gordon on the right, I've gone for Barnes on the left and Isak through the middle. Now, I'd love to see Barnes and Gordon interchange. I think they did it in the Forest game and to great effect as well. And I think they could really do it against Spurs as well. Spurs are no mugs. They've got some really good fullbacks, which we'll get into in a minute, who are quick and dangerous and can go forward as well as defend well. But I think those two out wide with Isak through the middle, they could be really, really dangerous. Isak has looked off the pace in the first 3 games. There's no doubt about it. People are saying he ain't getting the service, but Spurs is his game. That's where he comes alive. He's got a brilliant goal record against Spurs in the last few fixtures. And this could really be the game where we'll see Isak arrive in the Premier League this season and do what Isak does best. So that's the team I think we're going to go for, guys. I am recording this one before the window shuts because, you know, I've got a day job, unfortunately, and I can't just do content all the time. Hey, I'd love to, but you never know. One day maybe, but not now. But yeah, so we record this before the window's shut. So if anyone does slip in and play that with signed, happy days, insert them there. But that's the team we've gone for right now. So looking at Spurs as a team as well. Again, with the team news, the big one is Dominic Solanke still out injured. He's not going to be back until the 15th, I think, for the North London derby. Could make himself an instant hero there. So the team that they went for against Everton when they smashed them, so the Vicario was in goal. They had Pedro Porro, Romero, who was really solid at the back. He was kind of man of the match, helped himself to a goal as well. Vicky van der Ven, who is a good player and quick, loves to get tied up in knots by Alexander Isak, though. Hopefully that will be the same in this game. Destiny Udogie as well, who's a really good attacking left back. Now, him and Porro can defend as well as attack. They've got pace and abundance. And Gordon and Barnes might not beat them for pace, but they need to beat them for skill, have a trick or two, cut inside. Saw Barnes doing that a bit in the cup game. If he can do that against these two and get his shot off quick, Barnes is dangerous and lethal in those positions. Probably more dangerous than Gordon is in terms of his finishing ability. So if we get inside, tuck inside and just get a chance to get a shot off. I'd really fancy Barnes to get a goal in this game. Maddison in the midfield with Basuma. I don't know whether Basuma is going to be suspended or not. I don't know if that's been decided yet. So let's just say they go with the same team. Kulusevski. Then they've got they had Wilson, Odegaard, Son played through the middle, got 2 goals as well, looked really sharp. And Brennan Johnson out wide, who didn't have the best game out of the rest of his teammates, but he is rapid as well and can be very dangerous. Now, the 2 main danger men really for me in this team, no surprise, it is James Maddison and it is Son as well. I mean, we've managed to get through these games really well and battered them before without Maddison or Son impacting the game whatsoever. They couldn't get a sniff. But Maddison is such a talented player. When he shows up, when he's at it, he really can just rip you to pieces. He's got great delivery from set pieces. Give him the ball, he'll drop a shoulder. He'll find those little passes through the lines. He'll break the play. He'll get the wingers involved. He can drop into that number 10, position, get a strike off himself, or slip a ball through to someone like Son, making those great runs. Even though Son's a winger, effectively, he is dangerous as fuck through the middle as well as their other danger man. So that does concern me a little bit. In terms of a weakness for Spurs, I think Van de Ven and Romero. Van de Ven's got the pace, but again, he's terrified him last time, and that will be in Van de Ven's mind, I'm pretty sure. But Romero is easy to wind up, and I'd fancy Bruno or Joe Linton to rattling about him and getting fucking wound up. It's that fiery South American mentality. Every time we play Spurs, Romero seems to lose his head a little bit. So that could be a real weakness to target as well. Vicario is a good keeper, but he does have a little bit of a rick in him. I think when he comes to claim for crosses, he's not particularly strong. So that could be something we could maybe rattle him up about as well with the height that we have in the box with the likes of Dan Burn, the likes of Joe Linton, the strength, the power. We might be able to get in amongst them and really mix them up. And in that midfield as well, I like Basuma. He's a good player. I know he's got a bit of issues off the pitch, but I think in that midfield 3 with Kulusevski and Maddison either side, that they're not really scrappers. Where we've got Bruno, Joe Linton, and Sandro, and now Bruno and Sandro can play as well, more than Joe Linton can play. But there's power in amongst the 3 of them. There's real strength and power. Bruno's not scared to go through somebody. Sandro's got that about him as well. Joe Linton's a powerhouse when he wants to be. He was poor against Bournemouth. He was kind of all right against Forest. He wasn't great. But if we get the Joe Linton that showed up in the first game of the season against Southampton, he could really grab that midfield by the scruff of the balls and do something and get us a result in this game. But I don't think this is going to be an easy game by any stretch at all. I think Spurs will want to owe us one. Ange Postecoglou will have them psyched right up to get one over on Newcastle. We haven't been great. This is the best team that we've played thus far. Even against Forest, we started so strong, but we stepped off. We didn't step up. I want that intensity. When we played Spurs and blew them away in the last 2 fixtures, we literally blew them away. We went for the jugular straight away, got in front and then turned up the pressure. Gordon was pressing, Isak was pressing. These are the kind of things we need to do. If we start with that front 3 with pace, with dynamic play and press, right from the word go, then we could really rattle Spurs and take them off the game like we did in the last 2 fixtures. In the midfield as well, if the midfield step up 15 yards, the likes of Sandro, Bruno, and Joe Linton just smashing in, the likes of Basuma, Maddison, and Kulusevski, if that's the team that they go with, we really could throw them off the rack season, unsettle them, because we'll have power, we'll have intensity, we'll have quality as well. And if we go at this game that kind of pace for the first 10 or 15 minutes and really step it up, get a goal or 2 ahead in the first half an hour of this football game, then it could be ours to win. But if we don't, if we step off, if we let Spurs come on to us, we could be in real trouble. If we go ahead and then step back again, like we have done for a long time now, not just this season, even towards the back of last season too, we let teams get back into games, we could be in real trouble again. So it's a really tricky one to call. I'm going to sit on the fence for splinters in my arse. No, not that fence outside St. James's Park, which was unbelievable, by the way. That is just the most pettiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. If that thing isn't either pissed on, pulled down, or worse, by the time that the game is finished at the weekend, I will be fucking astounded. I really, really will. But going back to the game itself, I think it's a tricky one. Splinters in my ass. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And I don't think that's a bad result if Spurs turn up and really turn it on and the big players show up. But Newcastle could easily win this game. So it's a real knife edge game. to call. We need a confidence-boosting win. This could be the one that could set us off, getting through in the cup as lucky as we were. If it wasn't for 2 woeful penalties, we might not be talking about that right now. So maybe use that as fuel to go into the Spurs game, put in a good performance and get the win, get the 3 points at home in front of that crowd, and just really get everyone revved up again. The window will be shut. We'll be focused on the players that we've got, focused on the season, and hopefully we can continue to succeed. And we really want to get into the Champions League again this season, but it looks really, really difficult with the other teams that are up there and the strengthening of their squads that they've managed to do in the window that we haven't managed to do. So it will be a really tough season for Newcastle. If we can keep the main 11 fit for the majority of the season, we've got a chance, but we need to win games like this one against Spurs at home on Sunday in order to do that. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the lineup, about Spurs. What do you think about the result? Do you think it's going to be a tricky one? Do you think we've got a chance? Or do you think we're going to batter them like we did the last couple of times? I'm not too sure, but I'm just being overcautious. And let us know what you think about that stupid fence as well for the crack. Why not? Ridiculous, absolutely pathetic. It really, really was. But we'll be back with a post-match analysis of the Spurs game on Sunday. Keep it evermore, guys. Like and subscribe. Help the channel grow. Have a belter. We'll see you later. Cheers.
Newcastle United 3.